Depression. It's something that is very hard to talk about. And today we're going to try and delve into it, I guess, and delve into what depression really is, or at least what it is to me. I'm gonna explain, I guess, how I deal with what I think depression is, and just kind of help you out there if you're struggling with it. Um, so let's just jump right into it. As we're starting this recording, it is 10:10 p.m. and we're gonna be talking about depression. So just to start off with what depression is to me, I have grown up with kind of a tough life. I feel like everyone does, really. There's not really someone who lives a nice life. I mean, there's nice lives out there, but you don't have a perfect life. No one has a perfect life. I don't think that exists. And I think depression in and of itself is something everyone experiences, but calling it depression sometimes doesn't fit. Um, there's different ways you could say it. Like there's sadness. I feel like anxiety can be kind of in the category, but depression is something that is far worse. Because if you get onto the topic of depression, you get onto the topic of hurting yourself and even suicide, and these are topics that people don't like to talk about, and that's kind of why I'm trying to. Again, I'm not looking for a solution to it because I don't know, but I just kind of want to address the situation and kind of point out, unlike all the other people that I see out there who just kind of, I know some people talk about it, even on YouTube there's some people who talk about it, but a lot of people just don't, they kind of steer away from it, and I feel like that's the wrong path to take. I think you need to talk more about it, so that's basically what this video is. But anyway, so in my life, a lot of things have happened that have kind of made me question if I am, depressed, or if I'm going through a phase of depression, or if I'm just sad. And I think, like, family troubles, dating, I feel like all these things kind of contribute to feeling depressed, or feeling like no one loves you, or feeling like no one cares about you. And from personal experience, if you feel like that, it can sometimes feel like this weight on your shoulders that you can't take on your own. But even though you can't take it on your own, you sometimes want to, because you don't want to hurt other people with that weight and with that pain that you're carrying. And from experience, I would 100% say that's not the right path to take. I actually just recently saw one of my friends, and we were just talking about some things that I've been going through recently, and it really does help to talk to people. And if you're trying to hold everything in and not let other people care about you and let other people take care of you, it's hard to take care of yourself. And that's what friends are for. I think a lot of people, when they go through whatever depression is, I'm not going to try and label depression as something, because I feel like for everyone it's different. But for whatever depression may be for you, if you're trying to handle it on your own, it's just not healthy, and it's not something that it's not going to go well for you, because if you're trying to handle it on your own, you're taking all this weight, all this pain on yourself, and friends are there to take care of you. And even if you don't think you have friends, you do. You have family, you have people there for you. Even people like, maybe I'm not the best example, but there are people on YouTube who are really good examples of people who are there for you. I know someone that I watch is, I think his name is Daz Games, and he addresses the problem of suicide and the problem of depression, and he kind of talks in depth about how he's experienced it, and he understands how it can affect you, and I really 100% support him. So I want to just say, if he ever sees this video, this is kind of a shout out to him, because I think it's awesome that he's talking about it, and I think more people need to talk about it. But I think one of the biggest problems is you can't do it on your own, and I keep saying that because it's 100% true. And the feeling you get when you're depressed, it's you can't explain it, because it's worse than any sort of pain you can feel. No form of physical pain that you can feel is it's not comprehensible. You just can't explain how it feels because everyone feels it differently, and it's not like a nerve in everyone that you don't feel it the same way, but everyone feels it, and it's really hard to talk about. Like I'm having trouble finding words to describe it because it's just a really hard topic to talk about. Um, but I'm just gonna try, and hopefully I can reach somebody who out there. But I mean, in terms of going on to suicide, I said this in the last video. I don't think that in any way, shape, or form suicide is good. I don't think it helps the person, obviously, or anyone around them. And if you're considering it from personal knowledge, don't. Because I've talked with friends about, I guess, understanding what suicide is and why some people are driven to it. Like, I would never commit suicide, but I understand how some people can be driven to it. But just looking at friends and looking at family and looking at the people I care about, the reason why I would never consider it is because I don't want to hurt the people that love me. Because that it doesn't solve anything. You're only pushing your pain onto someone else, and instead of doing that, just be strong. And that sounds kind of cliche, but just be strong and talk to the people who love you, and just talk about just talk about your pain and be open, and don't hide anything, and it'll make you feel better. And I would even go as far as to say don't tell a school. I think it's better to tell, not necessarily don't tell a school, but tell, if you do tell a school, don't be surprised if they don't really help. Because I've had a lot of friends, I've never gone to a school to talk about it because I don't really think that it helps. Like, it's never helped me to talk to like a teacher or someone who's supposed to help you with that. But I've had a lot of people who say that even though therapists at school, or mentors, if you want to call them that, are trained to do this, I don't think they understand it, because you need to talk to someone who understands that. Like me, if a friend comes to me and talks about it, I understand it, because with what I'm going through at the time, I know, because I'm going through the same things. Or somebody may be depressed because their grades are bad, or they may be depressed because of, like, their girlfriend broke up with them. I understand that because I'm going through that, whereas adults who are married and they're teaching, they don't quite understand that. So I'm not going as far as to say don't tell teachers or don't tell people that are at your school. Obviously tell your parents, 100% tell your parents, unless there's some other reason, like abuse or something. In that case, that's another topic that I may cover, may not cover. I don't have any experience with abuse. But just tell people who love you, and tell people who care about you, and be open, because keeping it all to yourself is just going to hurt you. And in terms of suicide, I think that's an even harder topic to tackle, and I'm not going to be able to get through anything as much as I want to in this video. But I just think it's cowardice, to be honest with you. I don't want to sugarcoat it at all. I think that if you are willing to push all of your pain onto someone that you love because you think you can't handle it, I don't think that's okay. Because as a human, as someone who's gone through it personally, you can. Because I did. And I have friends who did. And I have family who did. And it's sometimes hard to find that strength within you. It's sometimes hard to find drive in your life. It's sometimes hard to find something to keep you motivated. But there's something always there. Like, for me, lately, it's been my friends and my family, most of all, that have been keeping me going. And ideas of the future and how things may change and how things will get better eventually. You need to have a positive mental attitude. I even think there's something like PMA, like that's actually positive mental attitude is the biggest thing to combat suicide and depression. And I'm not telling you that depression is just gonna go away like that. It's not just gonna go away immediately, but it's something you have to fight. It's not something that's immediately gonna go away. You can't take pills for it, in my opinion. I don't think that antidepressants, I think they help, but I don't think it's a cure. I think it's something that is 100% good. I think that antidepressants help a ton, but I think every person, if they try hard enough, can do it themselves. And I think that whether antidepressants help you or not, I think that you as a person, talking to the person who's watching this video, are strong enough to get through it. And you just have to find that will inside of you. And I think that whatever God is out there put inside of us, that will to live, that will to care for other people, and that will to care enough about other people that you don't want to hurt them. And I think, above all things, if you're considering or even just thinking about suicide, that's the ultimate evil against someone that you love. And I think, in all honesty, keeping that guilt is going to be the best way to combat suicide. If you always have in the back of your mind, I can't do this because I can't hurt the people I love. I can't hurt them the way that I'm hurting. And you're able to trooper through it. And I think if you can do that, that you're an awesome person. And I think that it really helps you grow as a person. Because hardship, it helps you grow. I think someone who doesn't go through a lot of hardship as a child and has to go through it as an adult when they grew up not experiencing it, I think that can be when it's really hard. I think that's why a lot of suicide cases are in young adults, in the 20 to 30s, in the even like 21 to like, I don't know, 40. I feel like that's the range. I'm just guessing here though, so don't quote me, but I think that's one of the reasons why. I feel like I almost feel privileged growing up in having a hard life, because when small things happen, you can appreciate that. And I think that's another thing to touch upon. You need to appreciate the small things. Like being able to go out and just stand by a river alone and just hear the water run and be able to just think, that's a privilege. And that's something that I think sometimes you overlook. And once somebody tells you that, you're like, wow, like so many good things are in my life that I don't notice. And I'm telling you because I've experienced this. I've had times in my life where I didn't even know what drove me anymore. I didn't know what I wanted to do and how to keep going. And then I see a friend, or I just sit in the grass and look up at the sky, and I just realize that life is a blessing. And that is a reason. Life being a blessing is a reason to live in and of itself. And I don't think my words can help everyone. I think that I may not even be helping the person who's listening right now, but I think the fact that I'm trying is better than a lot of people out there. I think there's a lot of people, even YouTubers, on any sort of social media, that downgrade depression or say that it's not real. Like, I see a lot of videos. Again, going back to Dad's Games, an amazing YouTuber, check him out. He talks about this, and he looks at YouTubers who downgrade stuff like obesity or depression, like talking about it as either in terms of obesity, it's your fault, or in terms of depression, that it's not real, it's just in your head. That is wrong, because that's somebody who, in my opinion, is too privileged, or they've never experienced pain in their life. And I just don't think, if you don't know what it is, don't talk about it. Like, I was even debating talking about depression because I don't think I can talk about it because, like, I don't know how you're feeling. But I get an idea because I know, in a sense, what depression is. Like, I know how it feels. Like, it's almost sadness, but it's, like, worse. And you can't really pin a word on it, which is why it's so hard to talk about, because when you can only really say depression. You can't say sadness because that doesn't hit the nail on the head. But I think talking about it and knowing that there's people out there who feel your pain and know what you're going through can help. Again, talking to friends and knowing that they feel the same way I do, it helps me relate, and it helps me to be open with them. Because talking with them, they can give me some advice, and I can give them some advice of how like for me personally, finding things that help you. Like for me, music. Video gaming. I mean, that's not going to go for everyone, but video gaming for me is a way to just release all my stress. I could just go into a game. It may sound bad, but I go into a game, kill some people, like get my anger out, and then I can just vent, you know? And I have friends that I can do that with, and I have friends that will listen to me. And that in and of itself is a blessing. And I look at it as I have this. Why would I waste my life when I could be with these people that I love, and be with the family that I love, and the friends that I love? And all in all, I would say just life is so sacred. It may not feel sacred to you, but to the people around you, whether you know it or not, you are sacred. And your life, it is sacred, even if it's not to you. It's to everyone around you. Everyone cares about you. And there are some assholes in school. There are assholes in work. There are assholes everywhere. If some family members are assholes, but you just have to remember that they will eventually get karma, and they will eventually feel enough pain to maybe sympathize with you. Maybe they're not, I don't know, smart enough to sympathize with you. There's some dumb people out there, but they'll get what they deserve eventually, and you just have to remember that they don't matter. People who dog you and tell you that you're not okay don't matter, because why would you care about someone you don't like? Like if someone random walks up to me at school and tells me I'm ugly, I literally am just like, cool, I literally don't care. Your opinion does not matter to me because I don't know you. Just if you keep yourself in that mindset, just care about your friends, respect your friends, and if somebody doesn't respect you, screw them. I think that's the best way to get through it. And bullying is another thing that maybe I'll cover it in the next video. I don't know, but bullying and depression and suicide, they all just, it seems like they're on the same train. They're all just attached to the same train going down the same railroad, and it's really sad. And there's no way to stop bullying, because people are just, it's somehow human nature to hurt each other. But if you are able to just trooper through it, because I know you can, and just try your hardest, then that's all that matters. And if somebody doesn't respect you for it, then screw them. Because your best is the best. That's just it. If you're doing the best you can, then don't let anyone tell you that you're not. Because that's just it. It's your best. That's it. There should be no following questions. If you're trying your best, that's it. That's that. And so, I guess to end the video, because I could keep ranting all day about this, just love each other. Love yourself. Like I always say in all my videos, just love each other, love yourself, and just be strong. Not even if it's not for you, for the people around you, because people love you, and I love you. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.